Guys, what's going on? It's Attorney Gerald Griggs of Justicefighter here on Justice Media, and took the day off yesterday from the live streams, but we're back today with our coronavirus update for the state of Georgia as well as globally. And so want to break down the state of Georgia numbers for you so you can get a live update. And these numbers were released by the Georgia Department of Public Health on April the 7th, 2020 at 11:28. And in the state of Georgia, we now have 8,818 confirmed coronavirus cases. We have 1,774 individuals that are hospitalized. That's 20% hospitalization rate. And we currently have 329 deaths. That's up substantially from yesterday, which was under 200. It was 294. Now it's 329 deaths. In Fulton County, we have 1,124 cases and 39 deaths. Dougherty County, 939 cases and 52 deaths. DeKalb County, 645 cases and 11 deaths. Cobb County, 550 cases and 29 deaths. Gwinnett County has 525 cases and 10 deaths. Clayton County, 666 cases and 10 deaths. Hall County, 196 cases and 0 deaths. Lee County, 195 cases and 15 deaths. Henry County, 194 cases and 3 deaths. Bartow County, 187 cases and 11 deaths. Carroll County, 177 cases and 4 deaths. Sumter County, 147 cases and 6 deaths. Cherokee County, 144 cases and 5 deaths. Chatham County, 117 cases and 4 deaths. And Douglas County at 111 cases and 5 deaths. Now we'll go over the cases. We won't go over every single state, every single county, but the ones that have multiple deaths. Mitchell County has 90 cases and 10 deaths. Clark County has 77 cases and 9 deaths. And those are the only ones with slightly closer double-digit deaths. And now every single county in Georgia except for 4 have a coronavirus case. Most of them have multiple cases. There are only maybe 20 counties that have less than 10. So every single county has, except for 4, has coronavirus cases. There are 489 cases that are unassigned by county and 7 deaths. As far as testing is concerned, the commercial lab have tested 30,993, and the Georgia Public Health Lab has tested 2,720 for a grand total of 33,000 tests in a state of 10.5 million people. The most affected age group is 18 to 59, and that's been holding steady for a week and a half at 59%. Then next 60 plus at 39%, 36%, and 17 and under at 1%. The most affected sex is female at 53% and male is at 45%. And they've broken down the deaths by age. The oldest again still was 98 out of Baker County, and the youngest was 29 out of Baker County. A majority of the deaths are from people with underlying conditions, and most of the deaths are between the age of 50 and 90. There are a few deaths in the 40s. There are a few deaths, there are about 7 deaths in the 40s. There are, I don't see any deaths in the 30s, but mostly the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and one 29-year-old. And then there are a couple that don't have any ages. But most of the people who have succumbed to this virus are between the ages of 40 and 90. Again, 8,818 cases, 1,774 hospitalizations, and 329 deaths in the state of Georgia. Now, we've been talking for a little while, and I think now the rest of the country is starting to catch up, that there are several hot spots in America that are very concerning, one of which is Dougherty County, which again has 9,939 cases and 52 deaths, far and away leading Georgia in the number of deaths and only behind Fulton County in the number of cases. And we know that Dougherty County is a predominantly African-American county, and these are predominantly African-American cases. And so this is a disturbing trend that's hitting the nation. This is from the NewYorkTimes.com this morning, and it's talking about Black Americans face alarming rates of coronavirus infections in some states. Data on race and disease of coronavirus or COVID-19 is limited to drawing sweeping conclusions. It's too limited to draw sweeping conclusions, experts say, but the desperate rate of sickness and death has emerged in some places. In Louisiana, one of the states devastated by the coronavirus, about 70% of the people who have died in Louisiana are African American, announced an official on Monday, which is only a third of the state's population being African American. In Milwaukee, around 27% of the residents are Black, but nearly twice as many African American residents have tested positive for the coronavirus. And then in Chicago, where African Americans make up a little less than a third of the population, more than half of those found to have the coronavirus were African American. African Americans residents make up 72% of those who succumb in Chicago. These are numbers that are very disturbing. The mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, said those numbers take your breath away. They really do. And then she announced this is a moment, a call to action moment, and we have to call to action. And so we continue to get these anecdotal information because the CDC is not releasing the numbers of affected individuals by race, by ethnicity, and sometimes even by age. And so we need to break down these numbers in real time to find out what's happening in African American communities and why it seems to be a disparate impact of the coronavirus on these communities. And we have to dispel a myth that's going around the internet. This affects African Americans. We are not immune, and this has absolutely nothing to do with 5G. We need to report accurate information on these platforms so that our loved ones, our neighbors, our brothers and sisters, our community members can be informed and understand what's happening in real time.